Well, hey guys, welcome back to another video. And today, I finally got Zhu Yuan and I finally raised she up. So by default, I'm making this Zhu Yuan guide. And I'll be talking about her kit, her W-Engine, drive this, her themes, her mindscape, and there will be timestamps of course. And of course, if you like what you see, wanna hit the like button and subscribe to my channel because why not?
A single flame to light the dark.
The Zhu Yuan Kit is not too hard to understand, it's just the skill expression, how you play she can be more difficult because you have to be more mindful when you play in Zhu Yuan so you can get the most out of the kit compared to other kits because the skill expression definitely high, but at the same time, once you understand her kit and rely on muscle memory and understand what you need to do with Zhu Yuan, you can definitely get the hang of it, but it's gonna take some practice of course. The Zhu Yuan basic attacks has a mix of physical and ether damage. And in the basic attack, you can pretty much tell when she's doing physical and when she's doing ether damage because when she punching or kicking, she's doing physical damage, but when she's shooting a gun, that's where the ether damage coming in. But then the main part about Zhu Yuan Kit is her bullet stacks. Zhu Yuan will start up with 9 stacks off rip, but also to trigger these stacks is by holding on left click on PC, or if you're playing on mobile, just hold on the attack button on whatever the hell button you to attack on PS5 because I have no clue. But deals high amount of blast damage that you can basically spam if you just hold down like the charge attack. But once you use out all the bullet stacks, it won't do ether damage again, but instead do physical damage. And you don't really want to do that, you want the ether damage on those bullet stacks. And to get the bullet stacks back is from a few things, like you can just get it from basic attack and also time I can possibly get it back. You also get the bullet stack through dodge and then attacking, that you can get stacked. You can also get back from quick assist. Well, each one of those things only give 1 stack, but we want more stacks, and the X special attack, once you use it, it gives you 3 stacks. You also get another 3 stacks when you do a chain counter, and lastly, you get another 3 stacks if you use Zhu Yuan Ultimate. And like the best way I kind of found to play Zhu Yuan is like weaving in her basic attack and with the occasional like charge attack to do the bullet strikes, and like you do a few basic attack when you see the ether damage and then you charge attack. You kind of just want to maintain the bullet stacks as much as you can and not overdo it, because if you just keep holding on the charge attack button, yes, you can use out all the bullet stacks, but at the same time, you'll definitely have some downtime. So you don't want to burn out all the bullet stacks, but you want to use a good amount of it obviously and keep stacking up so you can cycle through, and then when you switch into Nicole to get all her buffs, quick assist, and then you can swap back into Zhu Yuan or swap into stun character to try to stun the enemies. Like I definitely think she definitely have a higher skill ceiling, but at the same time, with enough time and enough play time, like you can pretty much understand and have the muscle memory to understand what you need to do with Zhu Yuan. Okay, let's talk about her talents, because when you use the X special attack, you increase your damage bonus, and when Zhu Yuan attacking a stun enemy, you get the same bonus again, so you basically get a lot of damage bonus from that. And then you have Zhu Yuan faction boss, which is honestly ludicrous for how much you get out of it, because all you need to trigger it is you need a member from her faction or a support character, and you get 30% crit rate for free. And all you have to do is either do an X special, Zhu Yuan Ultimate, or a chain attack. And that's like so easy to keep the uptime of it to the point that you can always go crit damage instead of crit rate. So that's pretty nice. And for priorities, obviously X special, basic attack, ultimate, and she's a DPS. You want to level everything, but that can be a priority. Alright, for Zhu Yuan W-Engine, legit, you only have 3 options. And oh my god, could you believe it? Zhu Yuan signature W-Engine is Zhu Yuan best W-Engine. Who could have figured that? Am I right?
Do you honestly think you're fucking funny? Seriously.
It gives you a lot of crit stats, with crit damage being the main stat, and of course crit rate on the passive, ether damage bonus, skill bonus. Like this W-Engine is just insane for her for obvious reasons. But don't worry, there's a reason why I say only 3, because legit, her second best option, or arguably her second best, is the free W-Engine Starlight. And like since you get like so much like damage bonus and crit stats, like the attack it gives is pretty nice. And if you have it lying around, the Soldier 11 W-Engine is pretty solid, like on par with like Starlight Knight. And pretty good, especially if you need to divide your W-Engines between Soldier 11 W-Engine and Starlight. Like it's either the signature or one of the two, like you pick your poison basically, because the other ones are okay, but just use those 3 and that's it.
That's a fact. stop within these walls. You left our souls to drift away.
Alright, for the drive this, it's pretty simple because one, let's assume when you have a best teammate, which everyone does legit. The 4-piece ether set because one, the ether damage bonus for 2-piece pretty solid. And if you have 2 ethers on the team, you can easily be triggering the corruption effect for all the crit damage buffs it can give. With either 2-piece crit rate or 2-piece attack, I would say go for the 2-piece attack because legit you get so much crit rate already. But if you're not sure which one to pick, just pick the one that has better substats because they seem to be similar with damage. Or you can go to 4-piece crit rate set because the crit rate is just there, and then the attack speed is pretty nice to get your basic attack out faster with 2-piece attack or ether damage. And of course for slot 1, 2 and 3, fixed main stats. Slot 4, nothing special, nothing crazy, just attack because it's attack, it's very nice. Alright, slot 5, it kind of depends on what W engine you have because if you have Zhu Yuan signature, you can go between attack or ether damage because since you get a fair amount of ether damage from the W engine, you basically pick which one have better substats between the attack or ether damage in slot 5. But if using Starlight or Soldier 11 W engine, weapon that give you full on attack, you have to go ether damage. And lastly, you have slot 6 and there's only 2 options really because for one, you will never go crit rate because of how much crit value Zhu Yuan Kit from sanction buff giving she 30% crit rate, so either attack or crit damage, but most of the time go crit damage. And for substat, attack, crit damage, crit rate. And for how much crit rate you want on substat, well the sweet spot is between 30 to 50 crit rate. And try to stack up as much crit damage and attack as you can on your Zhu Yuan.
Even if we're swallowed by the rage of the never-ending darkest days.
Alright, but how free-to-play friendly Zhu Yuan is with a stat, a W engine, the teams is no exception because one, we get access to a lot of her best support and one of them being Nicole. Like we're getting a support that buff ether damage and give us double ether that make it so much easier to trigger corruption. And like chain attack, there's like the tech you can do when using a bang boost because when you use Nicole last, she has the fastest animation and with a quick assist, you can basically swap to Zhu Yuan while also keeping up Nicole buffs. And of course, with a support on the team, you also get a sanction buff because for one, you can only use support to get a sanction buff because until 1.1, there's no character right now to give us the sanction buff from Zhu Yuan agency. And plus, who doesn't want an excuse to use a bad bitch like Nicole? Like you see with the cake she having, like it knows Zhu Yuan cake, but she still has it, am I right? And if you want to use other characters, you definitely can. There's Rina, Chikaku, Lucy, but most of the time I would just recommend Nicole because she's free and also 2 ethers. Like, and for the last team option, best girl Ambi because one, stun characters are pretty nice to have for stunning the enemies. Like I've been using Nicole, Zhu Yuan, and Ambi and it's been wreaking havoc for real. And if you use that team is more than capable of carrying you through all the endgame content this game has to offer. But if you have like Lycan or Kalita, they can be good substitutes for Ambi. And the good thing we have access to Nicole because legit there's only 2 ether characters, like we're missing ether normally. A ether stun character, like there's a bunch of characters missing from the ether element, but will probably get added eventually, just not sure when.
Money don't jiggle jiggle, it folds.
Alright, let's talk about Zhu Yuan Minscapes now. M1 is when Zhu Yuan triggered a chain attack or her ultimate, she gains an extra stack. And if Zhu Yuan uses up all of her stacks, she basically gets 6 extra stacks, which is a pretty good power spike. Alright, so when Zhu Yuan enters suppression mode, she basically gets 10% resistance. And when you use the enhanced short shield, the target takes 10% more ether damage and that can stack up to 5 times, so pretty good. And then E3 and E5 are just stats increase, nothing crazy, nothing special, just good overall for damage. Alright, E4 is really good because if you hit an enemy with the charge attack, a dash attack and auto attack that does ether damage will ignore 25% of their ether defense, so pretty nice. Alright, E6 is when you consume 12 charge attack stacks. The cost of your X special skill will get reduced by 30%, and when you launch the X special attacks, it adds 4 additional bullets, dealing absurd amounts of damage, so the X special attack just a freaking nuke at that point. Like I'll be honest, for like the stopping point like M1, M2 pretty solid, M4 nice, M6 is insane for obvious reasons, so like I don't really think the stopping point, but probably between M2 to M6.
Now please give me an eternity.
Alright, so Zhu Yuan is obviously such a free-to-play friendly character and a very interesting character with a high skill expression. Like as a DPS, she performs her role pretty solidly as a character that can carry you if you need one. Like eventually the reality is Zhu Yuan, Ellen, and like any other DPS are susceptible to power creep, but at the same time, they're still considered the strongest characters for now, and even if they get power creep, they still will get the job done regardless. And guys, I hope you find this video helpful, and yeah, that's about it. So guys, thanks for watching. I do appreciate you for sure. Let me know what I should do next time. Let me know what you guys think, what I say, because I do read and respond to all my comments, and join my Discord server if you want to talk to me or anyone in my community. But with all that said, take care, love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.